Welcome to Power Fridays Live, the channel that aims to make a difference in the world through transformation, spiritual growth, and for entrepreneurs. Our vision is to empower individuals to live their lives with purpose and to make a positive impact on the world. We believe that power and purpose are the driving forces behind success and fulfillment in both personal and professional life. Through our broadcast, we discuss business strategies and techniques that can help entrepreneurs achieve their goals and take their business to the next level. We believe that through sharing knowledge and experience, we can empower each other to succeed and make a difference in the world. Now here's our host, Janelle Pulley.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Financial Power Fridays Live. And I'm your host, Janelle Pulley, and I'm super excited. We are rebranding Power Fridays Live. This is our 4-year anniversary today. I'm so excited to be sharing with you that I have been interviewing entrepreneurs for the past 4 years. I know a lot has happened in the past 4 years, and I'm so excited and I'm so pleased to know that we have been staying strong, staying the course, having great conversations, meeting a lot of people who are making a difference for families, making a difference in their business, making a difference in communities. And just to look at the list of people who I've interviewed over the past 4 years, I'm like, oh gosh, I've got to compile that list. I've got to put it together. But I invite you to go over to our Facebook community, to Power Fridays Live, and join the Facebook group. It's a private group, but you can still, ask to join. And we are building a community over there of very powerful entrepreneurs. We will be having a Rise Up and Thrive conference later this year and featuring a lot of the people who we've had to guest on the show, and people will be introducing their companies, their businesses. They'll be sharing what they do in terms of personal development. I'm a life coach. I'm a financial literacy coach and a spiritual life coach as well. So there's a lot of offerings that we have collectively within the community that we'll be able to offer for entrepreneurs. Well, I'm your host, Janelle Pulley, and I'm hosting now Financial Power Fridays Live. The journey has been vast because we've started out interviewing with myself and Luana Staley from New York originally. She's relocated. She has a brick and mortar Garden Girl Tea. We started out to be financial Friday morning tea. Total entrepreneurial accountability. That's what T stood for. Friday morning tea. We had Friday morning tea for a while, and life happens and things changed in people's lives. And so Luana's like, well, Janelle, 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, that's really early for me to start waking up, when she didn't have to really do that anymore. And so she took a step back, built her businesses, and now is doing wonderful things in the community. She's built her business with the Garden Girl Teas. She has a brick and mortar in McDonough, Georgia, and still online offering the tea. It's really great tea. GardenGirlTeas.com. And also, she's in the real estate world as well. She's basically looking at the opportunity to expand her horizons in that space of real estate. And so I'm very happy for her, very excited for her, and things are moving in her life the way her journey should have them to move, which is all the way up. Positive, positive, positive. So I'm very thankful and grateful to share. You'll see some of the past interviews pop up from time to time on my Facebook channel, so I share it out. So we'll be doing a lot of flashbacks Fridays here coming up. The rest of the summer, we will be having flashback Fridays. And so if you don't see me live and interviewing anyone, we just know that we will be flashing back on some of those great conversations We have a video editing team in place to edit those videos, to put together a package that will continue to have our vision and have our mission, meet the needs of the community, because we are here to help you grow in your business, help you solve the problems that you need to solve for the community, for other entrepreneurs, whether or not you're providing a service for people, and whether or not you have a product to sell, a book to sell, information, you have a story to tell. And I am so excited to share with you and tell my story later this evening, and how I came about being in the financial space. It's been a long time coming as I look back over my life and I see the job that I had in high school. I was working for a bank. And just to go fast forward now and to know, how I'm helping families, making a difference in people's lives, sharing knowledge, sharing information that is impactful and make someone think about their situation in such a way that they never thought about it before. And I'm really happy to do that for someone, to jar their memory, to trigger something, to liven a person up, to make them feel alive again. And really, in this world and in this life, of course, it is a life worth living. So I am so excited to have you join me this evening. Please like and subscribe. Please share this video out to your friends, to your family. Share it out. We're here on YouTube and we're on Facebook Live. So if you're on Facebook, please do, click the share link and share it to your page or another group. I'm not sure what all Facebook allows you to share nowadays. I know there's some restrictions and algorithm changes here as of late, so we're going to be able to share it out the best way we can to the community. So we want people to know that we are here. Tonight, we are having a conversation about your blueprint for financial success. Blueprint for your financial success. And I will be providing step by step money management tips. We're having a money management conversation. It is back to school. August, the month of August, back to school in some states. Some states don't go back to school until the day after Labor Day. But for those of us who are experiencing our children going back to school, the first days of school, I congratulate you, and I just hope that everyone's child's school year goes the way that they want it to go. I remember, back when I started my first day of school, I didn't have new clothes. A lot of the people started back to school with a brand new wardrobe. I was not that child. I must say, I was not that child. In my household, we got new clothes later in the year. We didn't get new clothes when we started back to school. And there was a reason for that. And I found out later exactly what the reason was, but remember a summer that we peddled watermelons. Actually, we had about 40 acres of land of watermelons, and I chopped the watermelons and got all the grass and weeds and stuff out of the watermelons in the hot sun. Then somebody actually pitched them and loaded them up. We loaded them up on the back of my dad's truck. And we went to the nearby communities and we sold watermelons for like 50 cents and a dollar. I'll never forget. It was how we raised money for our school clothes that particular year. So my dad was forward thinking with us, and we had to budget our money. We had so much money that we got from peddling the watermelons, and then after that, guess what? He sits us down. Okay, let's divvy up the money, count it up. Did you count it? Did you count it twice? Did your sister count it? Did you count it twice? What did you come up with? Then you found out that you had to pay this amount of money to him for the gas for his truck. So I was like, "Oh man, you didn't tell us we had to pay for gas." He's like, "Yeah, you had to pay for gas." And then we went through all of the things that we needed to do to pay money. And then for the benefit of being able to sell the watermelons, paddling off the back of his truck, and then we came up with the what was left over, and then we were able to split it between myself and my sister. And then we ended up going to the store, and we ended up buying clothes for the new year, the new school year. So, with that being said, I must tell you, we didn't get those Nikes. We didn't get the Reeboks. We didn't get the name brand tennis shoes. Back then, the name brand tennis shoes were Keds, and the Nikes and the Reebok tennis shoes and the Adidas tennis shoes. Of course, we wanted Adidas jumpsuits and all of the fad clothing. But my dad took us to the store. We looked at the kids' price, and we looked at the white girl shoes, they call it. They did not have the little blue tag with the kid's name on the back of it. It was the shoes that you wanted to make sure you kept clean. So you got the white shoes for like $5. They were in the little plastic um thing that you had to tear apart, and it was like hard. You had to cut it with scissors, or it had like one of those little rubber strings on it. So these shoes were in this bin that were attached together. And he's like, "These are $5, and I can buy you 4 pairs of these shoes to equal 1 pair of the kids' shoes, and they're going to wear the same, and you're going to have to keep them clean, shoe polish them, and all." I was taken aback and sharing with you my money story. It's like, wow, how did you get to this point in your life? And why you make certain decisions is because of those things that happened when we were younger. And we bought the $5 pair of shoes. I wore those shoes. I polished those shoes. I kept those shoes like a child, making sure that the puppy had food to eat. And those shoes were polished, those shoes were clean, and found out later in life, I was had my job. I was able to buy the pair of kids that I wanted when I was a little girl, and my dad's message to me was correct. Those kids' shoes they were more pricey, but I still had to use that same shoe polish. Well, not the same shoe polish, but I had to use shoe polish to keep that shoe clean. And I kept that kid's pair of tennis shoes clean. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could have had, 15 more dollars, because I could have went back and bought the $5 pair of shoes versus the $20. There was that $15 difference. But what would I've done with that extra $15? So because these shoes did wear the same, and of course, I paid more money for them, and I was able to wear a name brand pair of tennis shoes when I went back to school and on my own, and bought them and paid for myself, because that was the deal. It's like, oh, if you want that, you got to pay for it yourself. You have to, buy it yourself. So we want you to be on the trajectory of money management, the blueprint for financial success. So let's get started here. As later, there'll be someone, Yolanda, coming to join me, but I want to get started in sharing this wonderful. I know you want more of my stories. I know you do. I have stories. I have a lot of stories, y'all. I have stories about a lot of different things. And so that's one of my money stories for back to school. So I'm sharing with you as a parent, the expensive tennis shoes. If you want to get the $200 pair of tennis shoes, that's great. But we're going to share with you how you can potentially have financial security, the peace of mind, financial freedom, the financial independence in the future, to take that money, buy the tennis shoe that may not be name brand, and save that money, save the difference into an account for your child, whether it be in a regular savings account, buying an insurance product that's going to grow over time with the market, and you get the benefits of the market, never the downside of the market. So just looking at different ways to utilize that same money for the benefit of your child and the benefit of your future in retirement, to make sure that you have money. And that's what we're here to do, and that's what we're here to share and to have happen. So I'm Janelle Pulley with Financial Power Fridays Live. So welcome to Financial Power Fridays Live. And so first, we're going to get started with what is financial security. This is your blueprint for financial security. It's financial success. We want you to have that. So we're going to look for you to yeah, have financial success. So, with financial security, you want peace of mind. It means having enough money to meet your basic needs and feeling confident about unexpected expenses and pursuing your goals without financial stress. Peace of mind. So you think about, what does peace of mind mean to you as the economy is the way that it is today. So what our show and our platform is about is financial power. We want to empower you to look at opportunities for your money to gain freedom, to have the financial security, the financial independence, having control over your finances, making informed decisions, and feeling in charge of your financial future. That's what we're here for. Your financial security gives you the freedom to make choices that align with your values and allow you to pursue your passions without limitations. That's what we want for you, to live a life without restraint, so that the future you have, you can ensure that you can enjoy a comfortable and secure retirement. I say comfortable and secure retirement. Provide for your loved ones and leave a positive financial legacy. You'll never know, this past month, I've had to bear witness to my neighbor learning that she and her sister are elderly. Her sister is in hospice care now. She's in a nursing home now. But her home was ransacked by strangers looking to see what they could buy and purchase of someone. The woman is still alive. The family was like, let's sell it all. Get what you can get for the accumulation of bedroom furniture, cups, saucers, dishes, kitchenware, bedroom appliances, books. Get what you can. And granted, I looked at some of the china and found this card that said that this china was grandpa that was in the World War II from France. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. You're selling this china that's an heirloom to a stranger? I'm I'm a stranger. And what I got it for, it was a deal. Let me tell you, it was I felt like I was robbing the place, really. But they gave me the price. I said I'll pay it. I felt like I robbed the woman, literally, in that regard. But the family was like, sell it all. And what didn't get sold, I saw the junk man, the junk trucks, the dump truck pull up to the house and take all the stuff out of the house. I mean, they threw away a waste basket with the recycle emblem on the side of it in this dump truck. And I was like, wow, all of that stuff that family worked hard for is going in a dump truck. That was worth something. I ended up buying some other dishes and uh, an older sewing machine. So anybody out there in the film TV world, if you need an old sewing machine, whenever you're in that era to sit off in the back corner, I got you. And I bought some more dishes as well. I don't know a fascination of this dishes, but actually looked up these dishes prior to purchasing them and found out the value of this set of dishes. And I haven't counted out every dish and every cup and saucer, but $1,500 is what I saw the value of this name brand china. And I was like, wow, it's worth $1,500 if I sell it. And I looked up on eBay and everything, and I saw it. I was like, "Oh, wow. I could really get a return on my investment," which would be considerable. It would be like a 300% return on my investment. But I said that to say that there is the person who um was just I just felt so bad for the family because here you are, your parents worked hard for everything that was in that house. I mean, the refrigerator got moved out. I mean, refrigerators now are expensive, but everything got sold or thrown away. Just like, I don't want it. And I was just like, wow, I wish I knew a family who could actually use some of the things that if they were going to throw it away, they could have given it away to them and recycled in that way. But some things went to, of course, Goodwill. Yes. But the value there wasn't there. The intrinsic value or the extrinsic value, it just wasn't there for the family. So just think about how you want your stuff handled if something were to happen to you, if you were to reach demise. What would you want to have happen to the things that you've accumulated in life? I have 1,000 books. 1,000 books, yes, maybe more. But I want to donate my books to the Books for Africa nonprofit organization. And that's where I want my books to end up, in some child's hand, knowing upon my passing that some child in Africa, in the Books of Africa project, will have an autograph signed book from Meadow Lark Lemon. Now, I don't know if you're a Harlem Globetrotter fan like I was growing up, but I have a signed autographed copy of a book from Meadow Lark Lemon. So just my vision, just my thought about this book will end up in a child's hand in some country in Africa. That gives me peace of mind for my legacy to know that, I've made a difference in someone's life. So, enough about that. Just put any questions or any comments that you have in the chat. If you have any financial questions that you would like answered, please put it in the chat. Let me know if there's something that you want to talk about specifically that I'm speaking about, that you have any questions about anything that I'm sharing tonight. I want to know. I want to hear from you. So let me know. I will respond to everyone. Just let me know. So here you are. You've joined us and you've reached Financial Power Fridays Live with Janelle Pulley tonight. This is our 4-year anniversary, and I'm super excited to share with you about my second host that I had when we rebranded to Power Fridays Live, Dave Gresso. He is a wonderful John Maxwell life coach. He is also a person who I have highly respected for like 2.5 years. We were going strong, and he had family obligations on a Friday night, you can imagine, and really building his business. The speaking, he's available for speaking engagements, anything related to leadership, anything related to the worship and spiritual aspects of running your business. He can support you with that. So I wanted to make sure I said thank you to Dave Gresso for being my co-host for so long, for naming Power Fridays Live rebranding, and now we're rebranding again 4 years later to Financial Power Fridays Live, because everything financial is going to be discussed on this channel, and we will continue to interview entrepreneurs who are making a difference in the world. So, our mission has not changed, just our name in that regard, but our vision and mission are the same, to talk about business and entrepreneurship and what's going to make a difference for you and your life and your family. So, I want to share with you about the means of assessing your financial health. First steps first. First things first, track your income. Tracking your income helps you create a detailed record of all your income sources, including, all the salary, all your investments, and all your side hustles, all the money. We want you to track it. Start tracking and monitoring your expenses. So you want to know what's coming in and what's going out. So back to my dad. and was us peddling watermelons, we had that money coming in, but we did not know and realize the money that it took to buy the watermelon seed, to buy the fertilizer, to put gas in the tractor. All of those expenses went into us being able to sell a product to someone, to sell food product to someone. And he tracked all of it. And he knew what was coming out of our pockets before we before we did, because he tracked all of the spending. And I encourage you to monitor your expenses, track it, categorize it, essential needs, your wants, and your debt. I know that you may have a debt payment. I know I have a car payment. I just found out what my car payoff amount was because, I was thinking about buying a new car. So anything that I'm sharing with you, trust and believe. I'm not telling you something that I've not experienced, I haven't seen someone else experience, or I'm not going through it myself. I'm telling you my business, okay? So the guy, the salesperson with the car dealership, we get in this Amazon gift card. You could have won an iPad, a trip, a $25 gift card Amazon, or a $15 shopping spree on Amazon. So we get there. I get there by myself. My husband wasn't there. But he says, "Oh, we've grown our family. So my car is small and his car is small. And we take these trips out of town, and I'm like a sardine. I'm like squished. I'm like, oh my gosh, please let me stop so I can stretch. But we know we need a bigger vehicle. So the guy was like, I said, well, I'll be paying off my car in like a year and a half. I'm not trying to like get into another car note. He was being generous. Oh yeah, we'll keep your payment about the same. In another 10 months, you can refinance it. But I told him, I said, but my car, even though you'll pay off my car, your score will go up. He was really champy. Oh, your score will go up. I'm worried about my credit score. Yeah, yeah, your score will go up. You'll pay off your car. I said, but I'm worried about my debt to income ratio. It'll increase again. I'm getting my debt to income ratio down. You know, my debt's going down because I have a year and a half to pay off. I just paid off this other, revolving credit card expense. I'm looking at paying off my other credit card. You're trying to add more expense to me. So my debt to income ratio is literally going to go up if we buy this car. But my credit score is attractive to know. It'll go up too. He says, we'll put you in the 800 club. Yeah, okay, but my debt to income ratio is going to be higher. So that was what I had a concern for. And he was looking at my credit score going up. Well, let me hear from you. What do you think is more important, your debt to income ratio or having a good credit score? Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Because I'm thinking that, oh my gosh, I have $8,000 left to pay off my car, and the car that I want, that I would be comfortable in, trust me, comfortable, is $38,000. Well, after I negotiate, it'll probably cost 30,000 because of course they're going to pay off my car. They're going to give me that money. They're going to buy my car back from me, give me that difference plus another $2,500. So I assume they'll probably shave off what I owe, and I'll end up with a car payment for a $30,000 car. Well, do I really want to take on that? Because my debt will increase. So, what? Let me know. Let me know. So you're saying, Vanessa Green saying credit. You think my credit score increasing is more important than having a low debt to income ratio? Huh. Okay. Cool. So I thank you so much for sharing that, Vanessa. And thank you for joining us tonight on Financial Power Fridays Live. But what was a bigger concern for me, because my credit is good, in the good range, that debt to income ratio, because honestly, I want to not have a car payment. I want to not have a car payment for a while. And I want to be able to save that car payment money and save up that money for another year or two so I could put it towards something that's going to be more beneficial for it to grow. I want my money to grow. Instead of taking on the debt, I'm going to go ahead and pay off that 8 grand, and I'm going to use that car payment money now to grow that money in an investment in another vehicle that's going to be more beneficial for us to have a better lifestyle. And in the meantime, if we have to take another trip out of town, we're going to rent a car. So in my book, Money Just Flew Out the Window, you know how to create a relationship with wealth, living from paycheck to paycheck. I discuss whether or not should I buy it or should I rent it? Should we buy or should we rent? So those are the two choices. Renting the car when we go out of town, and it may cost what a new car payment would cost for that 1 week or for however long, then it would for me to have that monthly car payment increase by a couple of $100 a month. So that's more important for me not to increase my outgoing and continuously decrease my debt. Okay, very great. So you say yes to that. So thank you so much for being here and thank you for listening. You're listening to Financial Power Fridays Live here, Friday nights. Going forward, we are Financial Power Fridays Live, your source for money management strategies and entrepreneurship. So thank you so much for joining. And I will now share with you about the opportunity to get my book, Money Just Flew Out the Window. You can get it there, moneyjustflewoutthewindow.com. You can order your copy, share it with a friend. It is also available on Amazon. However, if you get it directly from me, I include a free book. I include another free book. So we definitely want you to grab your copy of Money Just Flew Out the Window in that regard. So, welcome to Power Fridays Live. And I have a video about my book to share with you where you can get a copy of Money Just Flew Out the Window. And we'll be back with more Financial Power Fridays Live.
Introducing Money Just Flew Out the Window by Janelle Pulley. Get your copy of the book. Money Just Flew Out the Window. It shows you how to manage and build family wealth. Discover how to protect your family and your future. How to build a proper financial foundation. Discover reasons why you have been financially unstable. Why financial freedom is important. How to key into the financial liberty your fellow men who have this knowledge are enjoying. Discover ways to retain the freedom regardless of your income. Support the family without stress. And lots more. Get your copy of Money Just Flew Out the Window now.
Hello, thank you so much for that. And um, we also want you to like and subscribe. Okay, and we're back. And 1 second. We're going to take a brief intermission. One moment. I'll be right back with you. And thanks for joining Financial Power Fridays Live. I'm your host, Janelle Pulley, and I am going to. I'm a one woman show tonight, so just bear with me. Um, I'm with you Fridays Live as we are celebrating 4 years of recording. Uh, uh, we're sharing, celebrating 4 years of interviewing entrepreneurs in the space, and we are super excited to have you with us tonight. And 1 second. Um, there you go. I'm sending something off, and we are talking about assessing your financial health. We also would like for you to calculate your net worth. That is another step into accessing your financial health and identifying your goals. Determining your short term and long term financial objectives, including how to reduce your debt, home ownership, and retirement planning, because we want you to be able to retire tax free and have a lifestyle in your future as well. So just bear with me here. And um, I emailed Yolanda the link to join me tonight. And she is my community leader, my co host of Financial Power Fridays Live. So I'm super excited, to have her join me here shortly on Power Fridays Live. But I'm going to continue this conversation. And please do let me know in the chat if you agree with me or disagree with me and want to learn more about building your financial cushion, your emergency fund, your short term savings, and your long term savings. So please Okay, sorry about that. It looks like I was having technical difficulties. I'm not sure what you heard or what you didn't hear, but we're talking about building your financial cushion, having an emergency fund, having a short term savings, a long term savings, and creating a savings with 3 to 6 month worth of living expenses. It means more to me to not have a car payment right now to increase by $200 a month to have the luxury, but rent a car when I need it, and then I'm able to have build up my emergency fund worth of living expenses and the short term savings. So, and then of course with the long term savings, investing for my child's future, my retirement, and my future child's needs. So, hi Yolanda, how are you doing this evening? Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you great. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
So you
Thank
have
you
to
for being
forgive
here.
me because
Oh,
I got stuck in a serious downpour. Um,
oh
Here in New York City, they had a sign, notification, seek shelter. And
no.
ended up in the car. So we're going to
Oh
do
wow.
this pretty raw.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
Um,
okay. Well,
so,
well, hang on one second, because I have the little one. She is doing her thing right now, and
okay.
I need to go grab her real quickly. So please introduce yourself, and I will be right and tell the audience about you and what you do. And welcome to Financial Power Fridays Live.
Yes, yes, yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yolanda Brisbane. I am a community engagement specialist. I'm looking a little bit crazy right now because I did get caught in severe weather here in New York City. It is my absolute pleasure to be here with Janelle Pulley, who is a inspiration to me. I'm sure she has shared a lot about herself and her 4-year journey to make it to this anniversary podcast. So kudos to Janelle. So basically, my gift is community engagement, bringing people together, and I like to use the term building community within community because wherever you go, there's a community, right? Regardless of what you may think of the community, there's always power there. There's always beauty there. So how do we enter into those spaces, whether it's virtual workspace or a neighborhood? How do you enter into those spaces and not take over, but collaborate and partner with the folks who are already there to leave the community more empowered and more beautiful than when you entered it. So that's what I am about. My company is called Unity Tech. You'll hear more about me and that company soon. So it's just my pleasure to be here. And one of the things I wanted to do this evening when I came on with Janelle for the second part of her, her program this evening was to get to who she is as a woman doing business, as a mom, as a wife, a pillar in the community. What does that look like? Because I'm quite sure that there is someone on tonight or someone who will listen to this at a later point and wonder, can they thrive as an entrepreneur, being that new mom, being that wife? How do you still make it happen? So stay tuned because those are the questions that I will be coming to Janelle with this evening. So
Let's
here
get
we are.
started.
Let's get started. Janelle, congratulations to you. A 4-year anniversary is a big deal. And
Thank
yeah, kudos to you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I see you. queen. And as I said earlier, you are an inspiration, not just to me, but to many. And I don't know if you shared your book at all. Did you mention your book?
Yes, I just played the video to share about the book.
All right. Well, folks, if you don't have it, I suggest you get it. No matter where you are in your financial life, the book will be a benefit to you. So whether you're already out there, well established, there's still a lot that she offers in the book. And if you're starting over, or if you're starting anew, the book will be a benefit to you. So go out and get it. It's on my coffee table. I have read it. I have highlight marks in it. I have pen notes in it. So let's just jump in, Janelle. I wanted to speak to you, business owner to business owner, woman to woman, and sister to sister. So you are thriving, you're successful. What is that like for you? Because there's another woman that's listening or who will listen, and has possibly thought about doing business for herself, maybe struggling with doing the business or launching. What does that look like for you?
Mm.
Right? You look amazing right now on camera, but I'm sure there are days that you
Oh
look
my
like I look right now,
god.
okay? Like you've been caught in a rainstorm. So what is
Oh,
that like for you?
oh
Being
goodness.
that mom, you know?
Well, the mother is new. Being a mom is new, and I'm looking learning to balance my time. The time management piece is like really super huge, with being an entrepreneur, with being a business owner, and so I kind of like look at doing things like early in the morning or late at night when she's asleep, and I make phone calls. I'm leveling up my knowledge related to the new way of doing business on social media. So it's a huge learning curve, and it's a huge time management learning curve as well, to learn to manage my time. So I would say to any new mom out there, or any mom out there, as the time management piece is like the number one thing to help your business thrive. To look at the communication, the knowledge transfer, building my business. I have other agents in my practice, and that will be making money, that will be out supporting me. I'm supporting the business itself. And so that's been a really huge help in identifying more people and stronger people, to be there to support me and to support themselves, to make money for the business and make money for themselves. And that's a big opportunity there for me as a business owner. And balancing, motherhood is focusing on having that strict time management in place. And so that's really been beneficial for me to manage my time.
Nice. Thank you for sharing. That's helpful for me. I'm not a new mom. I've been in it for a while, 10 years, but
Yeah.
sometimes it feels new. So thank you for that reminder and for sharing that insight, and sharing of yourself. And I do hear her in the background. You know,
Yes.
yes. Years ago, there was a movie that featured Diane Keaton, and it was called Baby Boomer.
Hmm.
And she was known as the Tiger Woman, like on Wall Street. And she inherited this little baby. And
Oh.
she had to go into different meetings, and she would try to hide this baby because she didn't want to not be known as the Tiger Woman anymore. And it came out that she had this child, and she embraced it. She
Mm.
embraced it. So, I think about you, right? Because you're
Yes.
like that tiger lady. You get it done. You get it done. But you don't hide the fact that you're a baby. I've been in meetings with you where she's on camera.
Yes.
She's on camera. So,
Yes. When the meeting's not being recorded.
yes, yeah. But that's a beautiful
Yes.
thing. And we need to
Mhm.
see that we don't have to separate who we are as we're doing business, right? We
Mhm.
can stay true to who we are as women and remain in our femininity as business owners. So I like that you bring that out. So again, thank you for sharing that.
Yes, because I'll be making phone calls and she'll be downstairs and she'll be screaming at the top of her lungs. And I talk to some people, they're like, oh, yes, I get it. I'm a mom too. So it's not like having her in the background is a bad thing. And, I was concerned about that before. And it's like, oh my gosh, I've got to be like super professional. And oh my gosh, that's so unprofessional to have the baby crying in the background. But I get on the phone with people and they like get it. It's like, oh yeah, you need to okay, give me a second. I'll be right back. So
Yeah,
it's taking a commercial break even on a phone call in some cases. So yeah, so
I
it's
love it.
yeah.
I love it. So my next question, because I know you covered some of the other things, and I wanted to get a little personal. This is your
Mhm.
anniversary,
Yes.
and I take great pride in being a woman, and
Mhm.
woman in business or in the workplace. So at any point in becoming a mom, and we're gonna get off topic, in a minute, but I want to stay right here
Mhm.
for a second. In becoming a mom, has that motivated you in business? And do you plan on encouraging your daughter to be an entrepreneur?
Oh, that's a great question. And, I was actually I'm sharing about peddling watermelons earlier to get school closed now that we're back to school. And so
Hmm.
I was encouraged by my dad to be an entrepreneur at an early age. Where, that was the summer we bought clothes for ourselves and he shared with us like, oh, these are the expenses that go along in business. So definitely I'm going to definitely encourage her to be a business owner because the economic footprint of America is changing. And in the terms of Reverend Ike, he says, I don't want to be a black man. I want to be green.
Hmm.
So it's like looking at her future and she's a great motivator for me and my husband to make sure her life is better, well lived. We've already started her with a bank account, well, a savings account. Of course they allow you to have a savings account as a minor child, but we've already started her retirement account. So she's got a leg up in life. She's gonna have a she's has a, definitely a head start. I had the Head Start class to learn my ABCs and one, two, threes, but her head start in life is a financial head start. And I'm happy to know that, we started her life insurance policy and it's only like $100 a year, $110 a year for the next, all her life. It's never going to change that $6 a month for that whole life policy for the amount that we got. And that's an amount that's going to sustain her and carry her and build cash value over time. And so we're like really excited about that. And we have another savings and opportunity as well, that we're creating for her. She could potentially be, a millionaire by the time she's 25 with a
Come on now.
$1 million baby. So we're going to get her started in that program and we're going to be saving money for her. And she'll definitely have a, yeah, cash value, to become a trajectory to become a cash value millionaire, due to compounding interest with a certain vehicle that we're going to put ourselves in so that she can have the benefit for it. So we're super excited about that opportunity as well. So the motivation is there definitely to, have her learn business, learn about, having your own business, making your own money, creating opportunities for other people to make money, as I'm doing now with my business. And so that's where you definitely want to be, to keep the circle of life going because, knowing that my grandmother, she was an entrepreneur too because she would sell eggs. They had a farm and she would sell
Hmm.
eggs. I found out later, like a couple of years ago, my dad was like, "Oh yeah, your grandmama, she sold eggs and or a chicken and just different things." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know that." But that was being an entrepreneur. That was all about entrepreneurship. So it's in our DNA. So I'm happy to share that.
Girl, you just dropped some jewels tonight. So, did I hear you mention that you'll be teaching a class to parents on wealth building for their children? I hear that in the future.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Come on
We're gonna
now.
the blueprint, the financial blueprint for success. That's what we're all about here on Financial Power Fridays live with our 4 year rebranding and strategy for families and mothers and parents, to really look at their financial picture and obtain that financial security for what they really, for what a person really needs. We're at different points in our life. I'm an older person, being a mom, and new mom, I should say, and we're at different stages in our lives. And it's very important to meet people where they are to find out, well, what are your dreams, your goals, your desires for the now, the short term, and what's the long term? Because this is definitely a long game. My dad lived to be 80, 82, 83. He lived to be in his 80s. And so, knowing the wealth that he accumulated in that time frame, and it's just so amazing to think that you go through millions of dollars in your lifetime without even realizing it. So we definitely want to make sure, we have something to definitely show for that.
Well, I love it. And when you offer the master class for the parents, make sure I get advance notice so
Yes.
I could be there and I could tell a friend and tell two friends. That is amazing. You are amazing. And I'm glad we had a chance to touch on that part as far as the parenthood and motherhood because it's important. It's
Yes.
important. And there are different motivations that come with that role and that responsibility. And I did want to touch on a few things that you said. You talked about her being able to reach the status of millionaire, right? A lot of times we look at people who have and we think that they've always had and it was given to them, but their parents made different choices. So where some parents are buying the newest Jordans, other parents are investing in that child's future. So come on now. Thank you for sharing those jewels with us tonight. My jewelry box is full. I have pearls, I have diamonds, I have everything that I'm getting in here with you today. So let's just move into you. Clearly you said that entrepreneurship is in your DNA. It's been passed on to you. Um, at what point did you in your life say you wanted to launch and do business for yourself? What was it for you?
Oh gosh, I could tell you about all the jobs I had.
Okay.
But yeah, and what led me to being in a at a school. And there was a colleague who worked for a gentleman who worked for a different company, and he basically, I was working for a corporation at that time, and I was doing insurance marketing, which, I'm still doing insurance marketing just for myself and not a corporation at this time. And he says, "You're leaving a lot of money on the table." I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, this is the model that this company has, and this is all I need to do. And they provide the company car. They, pay for my reimburse me on staying in a hotel, and it's a good gig." And so he drew out for me the opportunity, being in the marketing insurance business for myself. And I saw the numbers and I saw the opportunity, and I was like, "Wow, you mean, I could do that, and I could take what I'm doing here." And of course, ethically, I'm like, "I'm not going to take these leads I'm getting for this company. I got to go out and get my own and do the approach and contact and do it myself part-time, for myself." So, I did what it took, to get the test passed with the state and get the license issued. And then the rest is history. But what also prompted me to really, go into that business of, helping families with the insurance was because my sister passed away without having life insurance, and my dad, with his emergency fund, paid for her services. And so I look back over my life and I look at the different, how the dots connect, in reference to that, experience, when I was like 24 years ago, almost 24 years ago, to say, "Oh wow, yeah, it does make sense," because I did have somebody in my family to, die without life insurance that was close to me, and I don't want that to happen to any other family. And to know that, you have to that is a that is an emergency, where emergency fund would definitely need to be used. But of course, it was so unexpected. And then naturally, that happened, and we just, were able to deal with it when it came. So, we were grateful, as a family, not to, ask people for money for that purpose. But of course, naturally, we want to, do the best for our families in life and in death. So that was another thing that, happened as far as, being an entrepreneur that occurred in my life to where I said, hey, I want to make this difference and this is my why.
Wonderful, wonderful. We see the success of a person, and what I'm loving about our time here this evening is we're taking the time to get a little personal because we don't always know what comes with the person's journey. What was the motivating factor for them or factors? So thank you for sharing that. A lot of times women carry a lot in our families, in our households, and where our men carry a lot also. A lot of times we may be that glue that keeps things together. So for that woman that may be carrying a lot, who has a business in mind, she has a business plan, and she's right there, but I may be talking about myself. She might be just about ready to launch, but she's not ready to jump. What would you say to that woman who needs to jump?
Well, I say, listen to that Steve Harvey YouTube video. Jump, jump. As long as you're not jumping off the cliff, you're fine. Jumping into a space with other entrepreneurs, and you can take the leap of faith. And like the Bible says, with God, all things are possible. Be prayed up, and and look to the hills from which cometh your help, and the help comes from the Lord. So you can do it. You can make it happen. I actually looked up Flojo with the Olympics happening right now, and her daughter had uh, a post-it note that Flojo had written on, and she was talking about the making the impossible possible. And I was like, "Oh my gosh," and that was written the same year she passed away. And I was like, just months before she passed away, I actually 6 months before she passed away, she wrote this message about making the impossible possible. And that's what can happen. If you want to jump, if you have an idea, if you have a business, you have a desire, a dream, you can make the impossible possible. And what we didn't think was possible became possible. I remember looking up, and I've won all these awards in my life, and I without even you just look up and bam, hey, you've accomplished this. And there's some things I can tell you that I've accomplished, and I didn't even set out to do it, but it happened, and I got awarded for it, and I didn't know people were watching. So someone's watching for you, and someone's waiting on you, and you are the one to make it happen. So make that impossible possible, and jump, go for it.
Thank you. And I will add to that we are all the solution that someone is looking for. So I will add that. Good, Janelle, this has been incredible. We spent time together, but we're both sitting in a different seat tonight. And this
Yes.
conversation is different, and it's a much needed conversation. It's a much needed
Yes.
conversation. So you are a wealth of knowledge and information, and I value you. And in case you think that I'm just asking the questions tonight, I'm taking notes, girl.
Oh,
All
thank
right?
you.
I'm
I
taking notes.
appreciate that. Yes, and you've got to tell me what notes you took after you got my book and read it. What
Oh,
difference did
yes.
it make for you? Because you shared something with me, and people have shared things with me about when they got my book and what it put them in action to do and make a change in their life. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think it would do that.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me.
What I love about your book, a good read is when within the first few pages you're hooked. When you have to get to page 20 before it sinks in, it becomes a struggle. And as soon as I opened your book, I immediately put into action because no matter where you are in life, some people have a better handle on the financial part. And a lot of us don't track where our money is going, right? And a lot of times we're spending on what we think we need, and that need is really a want. So even when you list your wants and your needs, you have things on that needs list that can really be transferred to a want. And that's one thing I got out of your book. It may not have been in those words, but you challenged people to do differently with their money. So instead of eating out 4 days a week, pack your lunch, right? You challenged us to think before we make that purchase. Do you really need it? because that money can be going towards something positive, right? It's the money went out the window. And I read it, the first few pages, and I said, how much of your money, Yolanda, is going out the window because you're not really stopping to think before you purchase? And you mentioned sacrifice, right? You mentioned sacrifice in that book at a certain point, and it's not drastic sacrifice. It's the small sacrifices that we make that pays off later. And the way you speak to the reader says you can do this. It's practical, it's easy, but the results are huge. So that's what I loved about it. I did not have to be a financial guru to get it. And I
Right.
immediately started implementing some of those basic steps that you gave that we
Oh,
miss.
wonderful. Thank you, Yolanda. I appreciate that very much. And you too could have that and more with money just flew out the window. And we are knowing that this young girl, it's 8 o'clock, it's
Yes,
bedtime, it's time to start that process. And
yes.
we know what process that is at 8 o'clock on the dot. She doesn't
So
want to.
before you go, I don't like to let people go. Before you go, this is just really, out there question. Do you have a song, like that one particular song that motivates you? You're muted. You're muted.
I'm not sure. I know. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. 1 second. She doesn't. Thinking. It's a song by. Oh gosh, it's a song by. I'm trying to think of the words to it. And it motivates me every time I hear it. But there's a song by Denise Williams called Black Butterfly.
Mm. Well,
That's the song that was my first one of my first companies called Black Butterfly Productions. That was a song that resonates with me. The lyrics to that song resonates deeply with me. And so Black Butterfly by Denise Nisi Williams.
I love it. One of my favorites. Black Butterfly, Sail Across the Waters. Tell your
Yes.
the story to the sons and daughters of what the
Yes.
struggle really is. Love you,
Yes.
sis. Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for allowing me the privilege and honor to
Thank you.
put those questions out there to you and get some great insight. So stay blessed, stay sharp, keep doing what you're doing because yes, people are watching, but they're not just watching to see what you're doing. They're watching to take notes because you let us know that we could do it also. So thank you.
And thank you, Yolanda. Thanks for being my co-host. Thanks for helping me with the 4 year anniversary. And I'm super excited for Financial Power Fridays Live. And as we say, be do and have the greatness that you desire because the greatness is in you. Thanks
Come
for
on.
joining us on Financial Power Fridays Live. And we'll see you next Friday for another episode of Your Financial Blueprint Money Management Conversations. Have a blessed weekend, everyone. Thank you.
Blessings, my
Take care.
sister.
Thanks. I love you, Yolanda. Take care.
Love
Be
you
blessed.
too.
Bye bye.